Okay. Okay, and if I want to cut it, I'll just give you a signal. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Don't clear. That's fine. This message is going. You guys keep eating. Shout out to the internet. Hello, live TV, live internet. KJ Jones, I'm the editor of Diesel Power Magazine, and welcome to the Diesel Power Challenge 2019 presented by XDP Awards Banquet. This is just a shout out to our internet viewers. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to continue eating and finish up dinner, and we'll get into our program. But in the meantime, enjoy these video highlights of our week. I'm sure you're going to enjoy them. It's exciting. Check it out.
I want to compete in Diesel Power Challenge from the sheer aspect to show people that it doesn't take a $100,000 truck or a truck that looks perfect to do it.
It's been a dream of mine since I started making power with the truck, honestly. You know, kind of get bit by the diesel bug, you know, and you start making power, and then all of a sudden you see other people doing it, you know, just kind of you just kind of get addicted to it. So
I've been watching it for the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and it always looked like a lot of fun. We started getting into diesels, and it was something that we always wanted to do, and yeah.
I just wanted to come out and take on the monster, I suppose.
I've been watching it for probably the last 5 or 6 years or so, and entered. This will be the 3rd year that we entered, and we would have been the last chance that we would have had, because we ordered. We've got a fiberglass clip for it, and we were going to strip everything we could, shed some weight. And
my real good friend Ray McClellan was in it in 16. He was in it, we talked about it, and we've always been back and forth with the trucks and everything. And last year we were here, and I was actually on Shane Merriman's team. Well, when I was here on the team with him, we were talking about like how fun would it be to come back again, but like, you know, actually like, me be part of it this time and do everything.
For years I've been following it, and finally I was like, oh, you know what, let me just send in the ballot and see what happens, and I ended up getting selected, and somehow I got voted in, so pretty exciting.
Just watched it previous years, like elevation, always wanted to try it, so.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the truck will do, and seeing if they're showing that a 12 valve can still compete and still do just as well as all these common rails, and maybe even better.
with all these new common rail guys and stuff, and I got a lot of guys who kind of follow me around, and I wanted to see if it was possible to hang, I guess, you know, with where I'm at, and see what happens. See if I can keep the truck together all week. I'm just looking forward to having a good time. Looking forward to, just, keep the truck together, make some friends, make some good memories, and hopefully walk away with, everything in one piece and winning this thing.
I'm actually just happy to be here, to be honest with you. I'm just looking for the event, and say it was exciting and fun last year. I'm just happy to be here and to defend the title and hang out with everyone.
I think it'll be a lot of fun, test of how you drive your vehicle, how you know your vehicle, and how you put it together.
Just be consistent, and that's what I've even told some of the other competitors, like, be smart with the truck. That's what I'm going to do, is just be smart with the truck and just try to stay consistent through it all.
Diesel Power Challenge 2019!
Welcome to the 2019 Diesel Power Challenge presented by XDP. We've gathered 10 of the nation's toughest street-legal diesel trucks here once again just outside of Denver, Colorado, and we begin the action portion of the program here on the dyno at ATS Diesel Performance. We're going to line them up, we're going to run them down, and we're going to start with the defending champion of the event, Cody Boyer. So the setup in this truck, we mentioned the nitrous. It's a single Borg-Warner S467 turbo. The single turbo trucks can sometimes struggle to light in the altitude. Here we go.
Sounds like head gasket, so we'll pull the head.
Well, it was the best sounding pull he made. So here we are underneath Rich Coker's truck at the end of the dyno day of the Diesel Power Challenge, and the reason we're doing that is because this is the guy that won the dyno day at the Diesel Power Challenge, and now you got the transmission out of it.
Yes, sir. We got to freshen up some clutches, be ready for tomorrow.
So you were ecstatic. You made one pull and literally knocked it out of the park. I mean, were the numbers more than you expected, what you had hoped? Just talk to me about that.
Actually, they were well above what we were hoping for. We only used the small jets. We had the big one on standby if we needed it, and we had a little bit more fuel available if we needed it. So fortunately, we didn't have to use it, and we're going into tomorrow pretty healthy.
So it's a good thing. This is basically kind of a preventative maintenance check on the transmission as opposed to some sort of catastrophic needing to be rebuilt.
Correct, yes.
Very cool. Well, you know, there's the old joke that if you fight one of us, you fight the whole trailer park. Well, as far as the Coker family goes, if you fight this guy, you fight his identical twin, too. We're standing about 330 feet down the racetrack at Vandermeer Speedway, the halfway point for the 8th mile trailer tow that our competitors will participate in today at the 2019 Diesel Power Challenge presented by XDP. 660 feet never felt so long when you're trying to pull 6 tons at full throttle down a drag strip. Who breaks, who doesn't, and who wins? We're going to find out now. And that thing just roasting the tires as it goes down through the 8th mile. And Hartzell's truck, oh man. And there he is, rolls all the way in and puts the power to it. Very nicely done. Now he puts the power to it. Man alive, there's the wiggle. We'll watch that smoke clear up and find out when he's on the nitrous. And he's gonna get after it as Coker stands on the throttle. Here we go, the rear tire's breaking traction. About 100 feet into the run, he continues to pedal his way down the racetrack. And Richard Coker, 10.71.6. So when it comes to things that are easy to conceive about but tough to execute, quarter-mile drag racing is pretty close to the top of the list. We're at Vandermeer Speedway for the heads-up, side-by-side quarter-mile drag racing portion of the 2019 Diesel Power Challenge presented by XDP. Who's going to be better on the tree? That really doesn't matter. It's who's quickest to the finish line. That's where it's at. Flash to the tree. Whoa, Coker smokes the tires. As the two combatants, Ford versus Dodge, here in this first half of our semifinal round.
It looked like it was on fire.
Friend of the Girl Scout cookie box. I was just shoved it on there to kill the motor. Andrew McCain taking a bit of a moment to stage, perhaps a little gamesmanship here. McCain now leads on the throttle. Coker's truck perhaps getting a little warm, especially in the transmission. Coker is first to stage now. Very shallow, flickering the bulb. The tree flashes and off we go. Andrew McCain out of the starting line, blocks first. Will McCain not? He will not have enough to hold off Rich Coker, and Coker will cruise to another victory here in the 2019 Diesel Power Challenge.
So this seemingly random dispersion of cones behind me is the most diabolical test we have at the Diesel Power Challenge 2019 presented by XDP. It's the trailer towing obstacle course, and we remove horsepower from the equation, we remove raw, grunt, blunt force trauma from the equation, and put it all in the hands of the driver. For some, this will be a fun house. For others, it'll be a house of horrors.
Out of soot there, and you can hear the truck come up on the turbos, making some good speed into the first corner, is Seth Kuntz. A lot of horsepower here. He also told us earlier that he hadn't towed with this truck in 10 years. He makes it through the backup section with more speed than we've seen so far. See more of that kind of tail dragging stance here in this truck. Again, with a lift that tends to exaggerate the weight. Sam Key with authority finishes up here.
We're back at Vandermeer Speedway, the final day of the 2019 Diesel Power Challenge presented by XDP. As always, we're going to close it out with the sled pull. All of our remaining trucks will hook to the sled, and the truck that can drag the sled the furthest will be declared the winner.
Good evening, everybody. Let me have your attention, guys. Thank you. And once again, hello, Internet. I hope you enjoyed the highlight reel with the videos from all of our action this week. I'm KJ Jones. Once again, you guys in the room know that, and hopefully everybody watching knows that. I'm the editor of Diesel Power Magazine. We're here to celebrate a phenomenal week. From Sunday to present, it has been an outstanding week of competition, performance, definitely performance, sportsmanship, and anything else you can imagine when you put together a program like this. And this is my 5th Diesel Power Challenge, and it was outstanding. It was definitely outstanding. I'd like for all of the drivers and teams to stand up, please. Salute. And if Chris Patterson's team would remain standing. I just want to recognize Chris Patterson as our alternate. The way this works, the alternate doesn't get to participate in Diesel Power Challenge in any of the competitive segments. Prior to this year, all of the alternates had rolled up into the competition based on other competitors having problems and were unable to compete. This is the first year that we've actually had an alternate that did not get rolled into the competition, but Chris and his team stayed with us all week, supported everyone, cheered everyone on, and I really want to acknowledge them separately for their effort. You guys all did an amazing job. Excuse me. We started with 10, as everybody knows, and we finished with 8. 8 that were still running, in some cases sort of miraculously, but still running and able to get home and hopefully compete in other events fairly soon, with maybe some minor repair, in some cases major repair. There'll be a couple of engines coming back out, of course. But the performances each team demonstrated were phenomenal. That's all I can say. For the first time, there were 7 trucks in this program that made more than 1,000 horsepower in the chassis dyno. That has not happened. That was crazy. The dyno is widely regarded as one of the premier categories in this hobby when it comes to diesel performance. That kind of showing at an event like this is totally mind-blowing. And these are street-legal diesel-powered pickups that, in my opinion right now, are the baddest street-legal diesel-powered pickups on the planet, hands down. There are a lot of thank yous. This year we were very, very, very fortunate to have a totally, completely robust, more robust round of sponsors for this program than we've had since I've been with it. If you look around the room at all the banners and they're on your shirts and on the cards at your table, there are 10 sponsors this year for Diesel Power Challenge, and I think to date there had been no more than 6 maybe in previous events. So I want to say first and foremost thank you to XDP, Dan Stewart and his group in New Jersey. XDP has been our presenting sponsor for many, many, many years, and their support is just phenomenal. I'm saying phenomenal a lot, but anyway. Their support is really, really beneficial to us having this event, bottom line. And all the sponsors, this is my moment to talk about sponsorship, and especially for people watching online that are buying products, that are working on your trucks. Support the people that are supporting us. That's important. I don't know if this mic went out. Did it go out? Hello? Yeah. Anyway, support the people that support us. That's the most important thing out there. Our sponsors invest a lot of money for this to happen. There's no question about it. And I have big concerns every year about, bottom line, are we going to have enough money to do this? When we don't have enough money to do this, it's going to be a terrible thing. So the idea is for sponsors like Victor Rinse, like ATS, PPE, everybody that you see here, the idea is for our world, our community, to back them up so that when we go at them and say, hey, can you help us out again this year, they'll say, you know what? The people that you had watching this thing, the people that you had supporting this thing are our customers, and we want to stay with you. So keep that in mind. But continuing with XDP, we have Anthony Ream here representing XDP. I don't know if you want to say a couple of words, Anthony, just to the crowd.
Yeah, just congratulations to all you guys. You guys are actually, believe it or not, this is like an elite group. This is one of the most followed events in our industry. So, I mean, to be a part of it, it's special. As I said, this is an ongoing relationship with everybody. We'll end up being friends for many years. You're going to meet people. A lot of you are going to start businesses through this. And I invite you and I encourage you to try those things out. And just like KJ said, continue to support those that are supporting
Congrats. Second, I'd like to acknowledge Clint Cannon and his group at ATS Diesel Performance. You don't even know where to start, and you can go on for hours about this outfit that I've been had the pleasure to be involved with and know now for 5 years. We have become friends outside of associates in business, and all of you guys already know. By a show of hands, how many trucks were at ATS after competitive segments? All of you guys were in triage of some sorts, but ATS was the official turbocharger of the program, but also the triage center. And not that one is more important than the other, but when you look at it in the big picture, keeping the trucks running and able to go through the program is very, very critical. And thank you very much for providing the outlet for guys to work, the personnel to support guys. You know, your guys that stayed on. That means a lot to me personally, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And if you have any comments for the group, feel free to share.
I'd just like to mention to everybody that, the most exciting thing to me is the camaraderie. When you guys show up here, you don't really know each other, and within a day or so, things start breaking. You get to know each other, and the way you guys help each other out. And that's really the most exciting to me about the diesel industry is how everybody can work together and grow this industry. We know we're in a threatened. The diesel industry has been definitely under threat, for the last couple of years, and I believe that what you guys are doing, what we're doing, combining those technologies and your hard work, that we are really paving the world through the future. And diesel is here to stay. And with partners in this room, you see a lot of them sitting at this table. I feel very, very confident that diesel is where the industry is headed, and you guys are part of it. So I'm just very happy to be a part of that with you guys, and thank you for coming.
AMSOIL is our third sponsor. AMSOIL has been a longtime supporter of Diesel Power Challenge. Every competitor in this room used AMSOIL product at some point or another during the week. And prior to getting here, AMSOIL sent a very generous care package to all of you, and I know you prepped your trucks with their products. It's the official fluid of DPC, and it definitely got the job done and proved itself this week. And Mark, I know you and Brett are here. If you have any comments, would like to say anything?
I guess a couple comments I'd say is some of the same things as Clint said there. That the camaraderie of this group is awesome. Like, everybody's here because they want to win, but the team wins the total to get everybody to the finish line. When trucks drop and they never make it, that's unfortunate. But look at all the trucks that had problems and then actually got to the finish line by lots of people chipping in, lots of late hours, people not sleeping through the night working on trucks. It's awesome to see that kind of stuff. Like we partnered up with this event for the purposes of trying to provide you great products to keep you doing what you do best, and that's abusing the heck out of your truck with your right foot and having fun doing it. So we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep supporting this event, and keep supporting all the suppliers there and all the sponsors that are in this room. They're here to see you guys have fun and succeed.
Thank you. ARP is one of our brand new sponsors. Pat Walsh, are you in the room, Pat? Pat Walsh, I've been working Pat Walsh to get ARP with us for several years now, and he finally made it happen. And thanks to Chris Ratchke for seeing the light and believing in us. And he was here for one day and checked out some stuff, and he has a very positive opinion of what we got done and what we accomplished. But everybody knows ARP fasteners. I'm pretty certain most of you, if not all of you, have ARP head studs in your engines. They're the gold standard in fasteners for this industry and for what you guys are doing with diesel and high performance diesel. So thanks to ARP for joining us, and I hope ARP stays aboard for a long time. That'd be a great thing. Another brand new sponsor is Banks. And in the 5 years that I've been at Diesel Power, Gale Banks has become my friend. And as a friend, I have to say to you, Gale, I appreciate your confidence in me and my team, and I thank you very, very much for your support of this program. KC Highlights, Randy's in the building. KC Highlights, we don't really think about illumination or lighting when it comes to Diesel Power Challenge because all of the segments are performed during the day. However, that doesn't mean that your trucks as street trucks can't be outfitted with LEDs or the products that they create. Your tow vehicles, just your family fun trucks or Jeeps or whatever have you. They have systems and lights and products for just about everything. So thank you for believing in us in this kind of unique space, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Do you have any comments?
I mean, when Mayor pitched this thing, I was like, power during the day. I figured KC and diesel powered trucks, it's sort of like a country song, don't you guys think? There's several of them out there. So I was like, yeah, let's try this. Let's do this, Mayor, let's do this. And you know what? Like this week, there's definitely an appreciation for the badassery that you guys are doing. Because I'm like, I'm a Jeeper myself, but damn, all that freaking power is awesome. And I can certainly appreciate it now. And I'm just privileged to be amongst these guys. And it's awesome, man. Thank you very much for coming out, and we certainly appreciate it. But yeah, so we're looking forward to working with you guys in the future. And hopefully we could outfit your rigs, whether you're going to a fishing hole or going to the diner room, because you might need those lights, I'm just saying. But anyway, so thank you very much for having us. So thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Fury Off-Road Tires is next up. Fury has been with us for a few years now, and I owe my thanks again. It's crazy how in the 5 years I've made friends in this game, and honestly I didn't know how things were going to work out when I came aboard with Diesel Power, but it's been working out pretty well. And my friends Nick Chin and Catherine Fuentes, known from American Force, now with Fury Off-Road, they believe in us as well. The whole Fury brand believes in us, and they help us out with sponsorship, and I appreciate it. So thanks to them. Pacific Performance Engineering, better known as PPE. I don't know if a lot of people knew what that actually stood for, so I figured I better say that. This is a welcome back for PPE. They were with us for a bit and then took a little time off and have rejoined the family as a sponsor, and I'm very happy about that. They're the official fuel system of Diesel Power Challenge this year, and I hope that what they saw and witnessed you guys doing will convince them to stay aboard with us and continue to support the program. So thanks to PPE. Victor Rents, and I hope I'm saying that Rents part right. Reints, like Heinz. Victor Reints, so I'm sorry, Victor Reints. Victor Reints is a late addition. Victor Reints came in literally at the 11th hour. We were about a week out, right? About a week out. I thought all of the sponsorships were in and done. We had artwork pretty much finished up and had to scramble to get stuff on cards and everything else, and they had to get banners here and stickers and whatnot. But Victor Reints, I know there's one truck that has Victor Reints head gaskets on it. Yes. Yeah. Victor Reints gaskets and sealants, and definitely were proven at this event. In some cases it's unfortunate, but then again, using Victor Reints products, it didn't blow again, did it? There you go. So thanks to Victor Reints for joining us in the late stages. Hopefully we can be more in front of it next year and continue to go forward with great success. And Universal Technical Institute. Everybody watching on the Motor Trend YouTube channel right now, everything that you saw live over the past 3 days was brought to you by Universal Technical Institute. They're the official technical school of Diesel Power Challenge, as well as the presenters of our live feed. And without them, you guys wouldn't have seen all this tremendous action that went down out here. And I am very, very thankful for them for stepping in and providing the funds and the support to get Motor Mania to come out here and get that stuff on the air for you. So thank you. If my team in the corner there, and we have some people already standing, but if you guys would all stand up, please. Round of applause. These people are the greatest group of people a person could ever work with and count on for something like Diesel Power Challenge. I'm just the front man. Seriously, I'm counted on for making some decisions and such, but everybody that's standing right now, they do the heavy lifting for me, and without them, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know, as they say, I can't do everything, but since I can't do everything, I have people I can count on that pick up, you know, what I can't, and I value you guys tremendously. Thank you so much, and let's just keep grinding. That's all I can ask from you. Thank you. I don't think he's here, but Larry Crisp at Vandermeer Speedway. Did everybody have a good time out of Vandermeer? Yeah. Vandermeer Speedway has been our home for on-track competition for several years now. They provide an excellent facility from drag strip down to sled pull, and with sled pull, I'd also like to thank Mike Sully and Sons, who laid out that track today and had that sled that you guys, you know, some drug it far, some didn't drag it very far, and quite a few of you jumped off the ground with it, which was pretty crazy. But thanks to Sully and Sons and Vandermeer for their support of the program. Our house right here, Marriott Denver West, is our host hotel. It's our headquarters while we're here in Denver. They do a great job of making sure our accommodations are right and we're comfortable, and we have rooms to have small meetings in. We have rooms like this to have our banquet in, so thanks to them. Motor Mania TV, David Anderson and Hans Pierre Jr., they provided all this coverage. They were hustling. For people that were watching, they did everything to make sure that that signal and that picture came through so that you can keep track of what was going on. So big thanks to those guys there. Brian Loans isn't with us, but Brian Loans has a message for all of you guys, and you know, we'll just go for it. Brian Loans said you guys kicked ass this week, and there's no arguing that. Brian, of course, is the voice of NHRA on Fox, but more importantly, he's the voice of Diesel Power Challenge as well. And I just want to share with you an interesting tidbit. Brian and I make this deal, and we've been making this deal since I've been part of this, on a handshake alone. That's all he comes to my house when he's in California. We sit and we have a couple of cold beers. Can you do it? I'll be there, shake hands, and it's done. So thank you, Brian, for your help. Paul Wilson in the Diesel Performance Podcast. Among the many people that were running around getting interviews from you, Paul and Justin were doing their thing. It's the official podcast of Diesel Power Challenge. Thank you guys for your help. I appreciate it, and I hope that these guys were giving you all kind of good stuff to broadcast. They were good enough? Okay. Sean Holman and Lightning Tillis for the Truck Show Podcast. The Truck Show Podcast is a property of our company, Motor Trend Group, and I won't call it fledgling anymore. It's very strong, very popular. Thank you guys for what you guys do for us. I appreciate it. We're almost done with the thank yous. I got to shout out, and I hope she's watching. I hope, Rocio, if you're watching, thank you. Rocio Martinez is our accountant. Rocio Martinez is the young lady who counts all of the ballots that got you guys here to Diesel Power Challenge. She's very diligent, very conscientious, deadly accurate, and she just does this out of, you know, being a good person, taking time from her work to help support this program. So thank you, Rocio. The City of Denver Films Office in Red Rocks Amphitheater. Who enjoyed the photo session? It's killer. That's thanks to Jeanette Murrieta. It's a contact that I made several years ago. Very valuable contact, and she's pretty much the the woman who helps get us up to Red Rocks. And thank you guys for respecting Red Rocks while we were there, and we had a bang-up photo session. Some of the images I saw are amazing, and they'll look great in diesel power. And then finally, I think that's finally on thank yous. Yes. Finally, I want to thank the readers of Diesel Power Magazine and the voters who got you guys here to Diesel Power Challenge. As you guys know, you were picked by, I guess you could say, a group of your peers, your fans of the brands that you represent, I'm sure family members and such, but without them, this wouldn't have happened for you. So they're owed a debt of thanks. And one of the things that I want to thank the readers and voters for as well is this year, based on, I guess you could say, my prompting, people, I think, voted with their head. When I saw the rundown, when I got, who's considered for this, I said, this is a stout group. This was the first thing that I said. This is a really stout group because on paper, most of you showed 1,000 horsepower. Now, in this space with social media and everything, every Tom, Dick, and Joe is showing 1,000 horsepower. So, who do you believe? But, we presented you guys to the readers as is. The information that you gave us is the information we gave them. But I also suggested go to social media, touch base with you guys. If they see you at an event or whatever and there's any kind of curiosity or need to know more information about your trucks, ask them and get the answers. And then once you have the answers that you think will help you vote, then go ahead and vote. And based on what turned out for this year's event, I believe that's what happened. So thank you again, readers of Diesel Power, the voters, and I hope that we'll continue to vote like that so that we can have fields just as great as this one every year. Before we get into our Diesel Power Challenge Awards, Gale Banks is with us, and Gale Banks and Banks have created a awards program that's based around their I-1.8 Super Gauge. I-1.8 is something that I was introduced to in November at the SEMA show, and we outfitted my wife's truck with one around January or so, and trust me, it's a phenomenal device. All you guys that have used it this week, I know you've given Gale feedback, you've given Jay here feedback, and Chris, the engineer, is here, and they've, they've really worked you guys out, and I appreciate your cooperation with them as they try to find out more and more what can this device do, and especially in a performance atmosphere like this. But I've been more than pleased with it now for several months, and for people that really want to get into collecting data and learning about mass air density or figuring out mass air density and then working horsepower and tuning and all that, it's a no-brainer, hands down, good piece. But Gale has a series of awards that he'd like to present based on the testing and the testing that was done with I-1.8. So Gale, if you can come up.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Today is June the 6th, and it's D-Day. Those guys came from what's called the silent generation. I'm one of them. I'm the last of the silent generation. And I'd like a round of applause for those guys. Some of those guys are over there, and the president and his wife went over there, and one of those old guys hit on the president's wife. Is that right or wrong? I'm just glad he's still got it in him, The most important thing that you do to build power is put more air in the intake manifold. And the intake manifold feeds it through the intake ports to the cylinders. how much air you have in every cubic foot your engine processes determines the power output of the engine. Until we started doing this new instrument, now you guys are all running Data Monsters, which is a logging version of the Super Gauge. Until we did that, a tool to know whether or not you had a successful turbocharging system, whether your air intake system was contributing or hurting, whether your intercooler was a good one or a bad one, the tool didn't exist. And the final bottom line is, what's the air density, the pounds of air per cubic foot in your intake manifold? That determines, manifold air density determines the power output of your engine. It's directly related. So a lot of guys taught me stuff this week, and I hope I taught a lot of guys stuff this week. I hope we all come away with a better understanding of what we're doing. Some of the guys have done a stellar job, and I've got 3 trophies behind me, and one for the best turbocharging system, one for the best intercooling system, and one for the best overall manifold air density. And some of these numbers blow my mind. You know, we start with the air density around here, and it's pretty damn low. We're at altitude. Clint lives with it all year long. I'm glad I'm in LA, Clint. This is like going to the Bonneville salt flats and losing 17 or 18% of your power potential. You really got to work the turbocharging and intercooling up here to do what you guys did this week. So we'll start with best turbo air density output. Coming in third, Brad Sankey with a single turbo. The air density here is about 83%. I'm only bringing up the winner. Oh, I'm messing with him. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just yanking his chain. We've been hanging out together today. So, Brad, you 232%. We started with like 83%. That's ambient air density. His turbo system, his single turbo, added 232% more density to that number. Yeah. That's one of the best singles I've seen. Richard Coker, your compound came in second at 263%. And Darren Dutton, you can come up, Darren. His compound did 281% and is responsible for 54% of his horsepower. Came from the turbos, the density provided for by the turbos. So, thank you, sir. So, what you don't know, Darren, it's a trophy and $500. So you just tell Lightning what name to put on the check and who to mail it to. Congratulations, man. You kicked ass. All right. All right. I told KJ I was going to do a little of this. I got to tell you, the $500, and there's going to be another award and then a final award. I got way more than that out of just talking with you guys. I learned a lot off of you. Best intercooler. Now, you can look at what a turbo's doing a little bit with a boost gauge, but not a lot. It doesn't really measure it doesn't even measure all the pressure. It doesn't account for ambient air density. And a lot of you guys, since the ambient air density was low, were really speeding up the turbochargers. And I think somebody got a compressor wheel. At least I saw a picture of one that fragged. So, yeah. So, okay. It's been, but these guys thrashers, I'll tell you. Best intercooler air density gain. Billy Hartzell, 210% for third place. Good job, Billy. Here's that guy again, Richard Coker, 212%. And the winner is Matt Mayer, 213%. Yeah. You see there is a God. I'm going to help you with some piston money. So 48% of your horsepower comes from the intercooling. So anybody ever hear a number like that? It's as important as the turbocharging if you do it right. So, thank you. Tell Lightning where to send the money. Yeah, you already got some good head gaskets, so you're rocking there.
Thank you. Congrats, man.
All right. So now we get down to brass tacks. This is manifold air density, what we call MAD. We start with ambient air density, AD. That's appropriate because none of us would settle for a naturally aspirated diesel. So boost air density is bad. It's a combination of the density added by the turbochargers and the density added by the intercooler. So how bad are you is the question. All combined together is manifold air density. That's the bottom line. Coming in third, Seth Kuntz with 476%. Coming in second, by the way, these density numbers, if you're a gasoline guy, 300%, 350, you're a big dog. These numbers are mind-bending. Second is Darren Dutton at 524%. And the overall winner is Richard Coker, 557%. Now, Richard, that's 6.7 times the ambient density. You know, turbocharger guys talk pressure ratio. What really matters is density ratio. A 6.7 density ratio blows my freaking mind. Oh, wait a minute.
You're good.
Okay. I did clean it up a little bit. So, proud to know you, man.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it has. There is $1,000 coming to you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I certainly appreciate everything you've done.
And we'll all be working together in the future. You know, it's just something I look forward to. Made a lot of friends here, and got to see my old friend.
Thank you very much.
Keeping it 100, man.
All the time.
All right. That's yours. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, let's get into some Diesel Power Challenge Awards now. We'll start with our, start with our specialty awards. Specialty awards are the plaques presented for Carnage, the driver's choice, driver's skill, and longest distance traveled to get here to Diesel Power Challenge. Starting with the Carnage Award, I mean, there are several candidates who could have received this. This has been, since I've been here, the most destructive Diesel Power Challenge in a long, long, long time. But the destruction wasn't based on any kind of inferiority of parts or anything like that. The destruction was based on you guys just putting everything that you had in those trucks, trying to get everything out of them to the point where parts said, look, I just can't take it. animals, totally animals, you're right. So the way this went down for DPC, again, there are several strong contenders for this award, but the winner this year is Cody Lambert. Cody, I understand, is catching a nap right now, and that's understandable. So if one of Cody's team members want to come up and grab the plaque. The next specialty award is the Driver's Choice Award. The Driver's Choice Award is basically the results of a poll of all of the competitors in Diesel Power Challenge, asking them if you had a choice to have any truck in this competition, if you could have it in your driveway, whose truck would it be? And this year, our Driver's Choice Award winner is Darren Dutton, 09 Ford F350. The next award is our Long Distance Award, and this is really interesting. It's crazy. When you think about sacrifice and what it takes to do this, what it takes to be here. Of course, there's a financial element of it. It's not cheap. I can't imagine, what everyone has spent in fuel and hotel and food and whatever else, and expenses on your competition trucks. To be here. That's a dedication in itself, but another one is just the miles logged on the highway from all points of the United States to get here. And we had 6 of our 10 competitors traveled more than 1,000 miles to be here, which is amazing. But the winner of our Long Distance Award, and what's kind of very unique, separation between first and second on this award is only about 20 or so miles. But Seth Kuntz and the crew from Georgia, come on up. Next is the Driver Skill Award, and that pretty much is what it is. It's our assessment, our thoughts on who presented the most skill throughout all of the competitive segments, be it maintaining steady state throughout, not necessarily, where they finished in rank, just what they presented and what we saw in skillful driving. And this year's winner of the Driver Skill Award is Andrew McCain. This next award, there's actually one more specialty award. There used to be 4. This year, we're going to present a 5th specialty award. This award comes from my friends at Hot Rod Magazine, basically. I've participated in Hot Rod Magazine's Drag Week twice, and this is a torture test. That's also a torture test of man and machine, person and machine. Anyway, Hot Rod, presents what's called the Hot Rod Drag Week, Spirit of Hot Rod Drag Week Award. And since I went to Drag Week and saw people receive that award, I always thought about it, and I thought that's really pretty cool to recognize someone. And I'll let you know what the criteria for the award is. The competitor or crew member who best demonstrates a do-or-die attitude while helping others, showing good sportsmanship, and spreading the goodwill of Diesel Power Challenge. The winner of that award this year is Matt Meyer. Come on over, say a few words, Matt.
Oh boy. Thanks. It was a tough week, so me and my crew were able to get it done, but boy, we got kicked hard. So I appreciate everything, with them, my sponsors. I mean, everybody helped. ATS Diesel for the facility, Victor Rhines for the gaskets, ARP, everybody who helped. I'm sure there's a ton more I'm going to miss, but man, we had a great week, even though it was hell. We had a great week, so I had a blast. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And now the podium. In third place, Diesel Power Challenge 2019, presented by XDP, Seth Kuntz. In addition to his trophy, Seth receives a $500 gift certificate from ARP. Thanks to ARP for that. In second place, your second place winner for Diesel Power Challenge 2019, presented by XDP, is Andrew McCain. Andrew also receives a $500 gift certificate from ARP. And the one we've all been waiting for, as these things go, we could say it's really not a surprise. Richard Coker presented just an outstanding performance.
I don't have many words, but I would like to thank everybody that put on this event, sponsored this event. There's a lot of things that can't happen without all the sponsorship. Tons of data from Banks that we never really even thought about. Great team that I brought up here. Everybody that participated has done a phenomenal job. Keeping everybody up and just running this event very well. ATS with the facility, phenomenal facility. We had everything we needed to get pick us back on the road and stay competitive. Thank y'all, and we'll be back next year, I guess.
Yes, you will. In addition to his trophy, Richard received a $1,000 gift certificate from ARP, as well as a set of Pro 6 lights from KC Highlights. I'd like to take a minute to ask our content director, Diesel Power's content manager, director, the boss, Sean Holman, if you would come up real quick and give us a couple of remarks.
You guys probably didn't see a whole lot of me this week because I've pretty much officially handed this event off to KJ. So this podium used to be mine when I was the editor-in-chief of Diesel Power. And I've got a lot of things going on these days, and this is the very first year where I was pretty hands-off. And I knew I could be hands-off because in the capable hands of KJ. He was much too modest earlier about his role, but also want to again recognize my staff, my editorial team, as well as our events team and our sales guys, all the people on the company side who have the relationships with the sponsors, with the vendors, with edit sales and events all working together. It's the only way that we could put something like this on. But really, knowing that I have such a solid core and such a solid group of people, the fact that I can kind of be a little more hands-off now and my guys are running it says everything I need to know about these people that I work with. And I'm so lucky to have a team like this. We're lucky to have some great sponsors and people in the industry who believe in us, who believe in Diesel Power Challenge still after, I think it's 10 years and 13 events or something like that? 15 events. So we used to do it East and West in the early days, but now it's been annual for a number of years. So 15th Diesel Power Challenge, obviously still going strong with industry support, still going strong with all of our followers and readers and everybody else, and the fact that you guys are still excited to be here and that you really represent the cream of the crop and the upper echelon of diesel performance enthusiasts, that's huge. And it keeps diesel power relevant. It keeps you guys, it gives you a platform and a place to come and show off and hang out, and even better that the readers chose you and you were picked by your peers to be here. So just really, this week was amazing in terms of the people who are here, the teamwork that I had a chance to see, the quality of people in terms of attitudes, and just amazing how you guys all gelled and everybody seemed to have an amazing time. You never know. You get 10 dissimilar groups of people from around the country, and that's not always the case, right? This week was amazing. You guys should feel really proud of yourselves and also feel a little bit extra about the experience because of how good it was. And I feel great because we got to do that for you, and we've got a great team putting it on. So really just a round of applause to everybody in the room, my team, as well as the participants, industry. You guys are all awesome. And Jay here, or Lightning, who works for Banks, he and I also do the Truck Show podcast. We'll be cruising around, grab some interviews, so don't run off. You guys have a chance to pour a bunch of liquor in your big cups and I'll drink from it. That's a tradition, so I better see some alcohol in that in those cups that we handed out. But anyway, just really thank you for everybody and all your time and spending the week with us. It sort of is always bittersweet because it feels like summer camp is ending.
We're going to close in a moment, but I wanted to share a story with you real quick. A couple of months ago, I went to the Ultimate Call-Out Challenge in Indianapolis. Everybody knows that as UCC. It's a really cool program that James and his group put together. It's something that I look at this event is now becoming somewhat of a springboard into UCC. As you guys' game steps up, you go beyond being, a street enthusiast and into being maybe a UCC competitor, covering all the disciplines in diesel performance, dyno, drag strip, and sled pull, but at an event that's, on a much bigger scale than what this is, and for much higher stakes as well. But Diesel Power Challenge is something that, it's for all intents and purposes, the regular guy or the regular girl, that has a good street truck, that has bolted on parts that are sold or created by, our advertisers or other companies in the industry, and are just into, making power and having something fun and being interested in demonstrating it. That's why you guys come to us and people come to us with their entries in hopes of getting into the program. But anyway, at UCC this year, I was leaving. I was on my way out of the park, literally, and I was trying to catch one of the competitors, because what I did was took the program. They had a really good media guide with all the photos of the competitors, and I decided to get all of their autographs just to have it for my desk. I thought it would be pretty neat. And I was at one competitor's pit, and someone yelled out to me, "Hey, KJ, when are you going to make Diesel Power Challenge great again?" And I mean, goosebumps shot through me, because I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It just came from nowhere. Someone I don't know, and I approached him, And I said, well, look, why don't you tell me or give me an idea of what I have to do to make Diesel Power Challenge great again? I don't understand where you're coming from with this. And apparently, a few years back, something must have went down, or there was just something that he didn't like about it, and that's what he was basing his statement on. And I asked him, had he watched videos of last year or the year prior? Had he watched any of the live feeds that we do now? Nope. I checked out of it 5 years ago. Okay. You checked out of it 5 years ago and haven't seen the progress that we've made since, I guess, you had that bad experience. I told him Diesel Power Challenge is an unreal event, and I think you should get engaged with it. So I hope, and I don't have his name, but I hope that he watched you guys perform this week, because in my opinion, if Diesel Power Challenge isn't great, I got nothing. I got nothing at all. So you guys kicked a lot of ass this week. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. With that, we'll close for the night. There's one other point of business. There's a banner just like this one that's over here. I'd like all the drivers to sign this banner. This banner goes home with Richard Coker. Thank you and good night, and get home safe. All you guys driving those thousands of miles, get home safely. And Richard, we'll see you next year, and everybody else, thanks a lot for everything.